Pepper says, are you ready to declutter another section in this hoarded basement? I know I am. It is that time of the week again. It is time to declutter another section in this hoarded basement. And we have made amazing progress opening up the back corner of this space. And for today, we're going to turn around and we're going to start chopping away at the middle. And we'll continue doing our baby step decluttering, working towards the front of the basement. Now, this is the section that we're going to focus on today. Some of it is keep stuff. While we were decluttering that back wall, I was putting some of the keep stuff over here, and other stuff is just tossy-tossy and trash that we need to go through. Now to get started, I'm just gonna work right from the front, and that's this big blue empty tub, which this is going to be a keep. Honestly, it just needs a little cleaning, and we're going to put that with the other empty totes. And moving on to this Target box, this is going to be a tossy-tossy. Now I'm going to be honest, I really believe this was a tossy-tossy from another video, and it must have got put to the side, or I missed it with my ADHD, because it didn't get brought upstairs to be thrown out. So we are absolutely going to make sure that this is getting thrown out this video. Next, we got to get this rack out of the way. This is what we use normally for our yard sales, but it can't stay in the middle of the basement. Now let's move on to this gray bin, because it looks like there's a bunch of mixed things in here, because right on top is some tissue paper, but this is actually in great condition. It looks brand new, so we'll save that since the holidays are coming. But this one right here, we can toss this one out. There's no need to keep that. And in this bag, I can't believe that I forgot about this. I bought this a while ago. It is a brand new bead organizer. Isn't that so pretty? I have to put that with my craft stash. This is what I used to do all the time. I would buy random craft supplies, and then I'd be excited, bring it home, squirrel it away, sometimes in the basement, and it was long forgotten. That's why in the basement, we're trying to do this rough organization so we can start to funnel everything into their categories. And this right here, this is an easy tossy-tossy, and this crown right here, I'm going to let Brandon decide what he wants to do with it. It used to be his. I'm sure he'll let it go, but I want to give him the chance to make that choice. Now, the rest of this stuff is pretty sentimental, so I'm going to have to kind of put that in the home sentimental bins that I have. And some people might think that it's just churning the hoard, but honestly, it's necessary for me to kind of do that. The reason why rough organization works for me, it's because I'm funneling all the items into their categories. That way, when I can see everything in one big pile, I can actually make accurate decisions whether to let it go. When everything is scattered all over the place and I forget what I have, sometimes my nervous system is triggered when I try to make a decision to throw something out, because it's the only thing that I have of it and I don't know where all the other stuff is, so I better hold on to what I have found. Again, it's just regulating that nervous system. Now, what I'm showing you right here is an old college book, and it is very old. And I'm actually going to let this go. There's no reason for me. I mean, look how old it is. Look at the flyer. It's frosted eyeshadow. So this is from like 2001 or 2, I'm sure. Now, this green bin and blue bin, they're from the yard sale. And I kept the labels on them because as we're decluttering, I want to be able to put more pieces into the yard sale bin because I'd like to have another one in spring. I really do enjoy having them. And I'm going to store these bins over on the side wall. And moving on to that is something that is extremely sentimental to me. And honestly, I knew that this first wall of stuff that we were going to go through, I already knew that this was kind of like keep stuff. When I was decluttering the back wall of the basement, anything that I kept, I was putting over here in the idea that when we were done, the organized label bins would go against the back wall. And that's what we're going to be doing this episode, because now I have a space to put the organized label bins moving forward. Okay, so now we're getting into those tossy-tossies, because this box, I actually have a couple label makers, but this box, we don't need it. It's out of here. And these are like bookmarks from like 7, 8 years ago. Oh my gosh, we just need to let these go. And Miss Pepper is being super affectionate today while we are decluttering. But moving on, this right here, this is actually like a pumpkin thing. So I think we can give it to another kid and let it go so someone else can use it. Oh, it is. Now, Miss Pepper is giving me a lot of love and affection while her mommy declutters. And I see a lot of stuff on the floor right here that we can let go of. There's no need for us to hold on to it. But remember the rainbow looms? Pepper does. Now, there's some random bin lids over here, and I think it's probably best that I take them over where all the other storage items are, because as we're decluttering and we find the matching tubs to the lids, I'll know exactly where they're all at. Now, this next bin actually has my Beanie Babies in it from the late 90s. And last time we were able to declutter 2 of them. And that's kind of why this works for me, is that when I funnel everything down into one bin and I can see everything that I have in that category, I can make more secure decisions on what I feel ready to let go of. It doesn't feel like a desperate decision anymore. It feels like a more sound one, because I know that I'm ready to let go of this, and I'm also ready to let go of the sheep. This is what feels good to let go of my heart for a sentimental tub. And as Pepper checks out the new space, behind the tub was some easy tossies. And it actually took me a while to recognize that this is trash and I can let it go with ease. Now, most likely it probably fell from the diaper changing station for when the boys were babies. Yeah, that one still got some heartstrings, but that's probably where it came from. Now, this box right here caught my eye because we had already made a decision to let it go a couple videos ago. When I was gathering all the trash to take it upstairs to the garage, I put this to the side, but I forgot to take it to the Jeep because I want to take it to Goodwill. And you know what? That's okay, because we're going to do it now. And when I go to work, I will drop it off then. Now, in this blue bin, this is my baby shower bin. This is when I was full on hoarding because I saved every tissue paper, every card, and every bag. And I'll tell you what, it still has deep, sentimental, emotional attachment to it because I'm still processing the trauma from all of my miscarriages and not being able to have a third child. And holding on to things is still very self-soothing to my trauma, but I just don't need to hold on to as much of it. So we're going to condense this pile down. Now, if you get a little queasy when you see rotten food, now would be the time to kind of fast forward this little segment. But what I found in that tub, and I totally forgot about, was my party favors from my baby shower back in 2008. And they are the chocolate mold taffies and M&Ms. I had to put gloves on. I totally forgot about this. Now, because I've healed as a hoarder, I can definitely recognize to let this go. But don't think that the thought of, well, which is the less gross that I can save and I can try and clean? That's how deep the need to hold on to these items can be for a person. But I've healed enough to recognize that it is more dangerous to keep these items in my home than to process the emotions of letting it go. For most hoarders, it felt more dangerous to try and process that anxiety and those emotions. That felt more dangerous to our nervous system than holding on to a mass amount of stuff, even if it was rotten or not. And if I didn't start working through those deep wounded emotions of my miscarriages, I guarantee you I would have thought about keeping the rotten baby shower favors, because that's how much it self-soothed that pain. Now, luckily, I remembered in this drawer, I had one favorite that didn't have candy in it. And with that, it's time to start sweeping up this area so that me and Miss Pepper can show you today's tossy pile. And I'm very happy to say that in that baby shower bin, I was able to let go of baby shower bags, and I was also able to let go of a lot of tissue paper. There was also a lot of paper that we had found in bins. Surprise, surprise. And we're going to be recycling everything as best as we can. Ooh, Miss Pepper. And now we get to show you the newly opened up space. Now we're really working our way towards the middle of the basement, because that's the big goal here, is that I want the center of the basement to be opened up. Now, those bins that we're keeping, I put them against the wall. That way, I already know what bins we went through, they're labeled, and in the future, we can declutter them even more. And if you struggle with hoarding disorder, I want you to know that you are not alone in this. There are so many of us that have this, and I want you to know that you too can declutter too. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean and declutter something in your home today too.